Welcome everybody, Solar is here. Today I'm gonna show you my hero tier list for Super Season 1. Keep in mind this is my opinion, so some other players would think differently. And I kept in consideration the high healer lobbies and how much the heroes are played and how many players actually play them. Let's start with the D tier, which is the lowest tier, and the first in D tier, which is the worst hero, is Diggy. Her first ability is pretty good, like her movement speed is fast and all that shit, but the second ability is awful. Like when you TP, you jump out of it and it's so easy to hit you, and at the same time it's so slow to TP. The ultimate is not bad, like you can get a couple of kills maximum and escape from a hard situation. The problem with the gun is that not many people know you have to shoot to the body to get the most damage out of it and not the head, because the bullet spread is so big. Basically what you want to do with it is just go on the backline and kill the supports or important DPSs like Gatlyn and Ossas. I hope she'll get a buff soon because she's been at the lowest tier for so long, but she's so fun to use. Next in D tier is the worst tank, which is Zero Kelvin. Basically nobody plays him. His self-sustainability is not bad. You can heal with your passive when you stand next to a snowball, and you can heal yourself when you go into the snowman form. The problem with him right now is the damage output, because his main gun is probably the worst gun in the game right now. So all your damage output comes from your snowball, from hitting your snowballs and your ultimate. You cannot even contest when you go into snowman form, so it's pretty like you need one or even two healers on you because you have no shields to protect you. Next and last in the D tier is Chemist. I love playing Chemist and I'm a bit biased, so I'll put her a bit higher in the tier list, but nobody plays her. The first ability, you can use it to heal yourself, so keep that in mind. Instead, the anti-heal is pretty strong, but not many people knows how to use it properly because the meta is so shield oriented that you cannot use it very often. The ultimate ability, I don't really like it because you mainly just give it to your tank and help him survive a fight. The gun, the damage output on the gun is pretty good, but the healing is much slower than other supports, and that's mainly why she's not used. I really hope they buff her healing because I love playing her. Now, first in the C tier is Iris. I don't really like Iris, and that's why I was saying I was biased on Chemist because I'd put Chemist a bit higher, but there's actually some Iris players out here. So the first ability on Iris, the drone ability, is very good. The healing is decent and he heals many people at the same time, and you also can give it through walls. The Discord Orb, for those who played Overwatch, so the second ability, is very strong and you can like put it on someone in the backline and your DPS is just go destroy that guy. What I don't like it about this ability is that it doesn't have any sound, so sometimes I'm not sure if I got it, like if I put it on someone or not. The ultimate ability, I don't like it. Like we got some support heroes who has immortalities and shit, and she just heals. So you just basically put it on your tank and hope he survives the fight. Next on the C tier we have Fort, and on the C tier we start seeing some actually viable heroes because he's very strong. His gun is crazy, like the damage is very good for a tank and it counters some top tier heroes like Gatlyn so that they cannot peek you. The problem with the first ability with the shield is that it's a stationary shield, so where you place it you have to play around that little zone. And the second ability instead is so strong. The damage reduction that you get is crazy, and you also don't get CC'd. So like if you're getting stunned by a ruby or I don't know, something else, you don't get stunned. The ultimate ability instead is not that great though. Something that's pretty good about him as well is his HP bar, because half of it is like normal HP and the other is a shield that auto regenerates. Next on the C tier is Cristina. She's a very strong character, but I put her C tier mainly because like one or two players only play her, but she could be much higher in the tier list. The problem as well with her is that she's so hard to play. Like you need to learn the trajectory of your grenades, and that's not easy. Also, I don't like the jump, the new ability, because it's just like a scuffed Ossas jump. I think she will be much better when the second ultimate comes out, because the second her second ultimate was much better. But I love playing her. She's so fun, and the damage you can get with her is crazy. Also, like on some maps, like Old Medina Attack, you can get like kills before the round even starts. Last on the C tier is Ya. I'm so disappointed in how Ya came out. That is crazy. Her gun is terrible. Her gun does no damage at all. So like you just focus on hitting it. You have to hit every shot and then dash into them to kill them. The dash though is pretty good. Like the dash is like what makes her decent and viable. The deflect instead is awful. The deflect is dog shit completely, because first of all they can shoot your feet while you're deflecting, and second of all it doesn't even pierce. Like your deflect shot don't even pierce, so they don't go through shields. Thank god the ultimate is good, but as always they found a way to fuck it up because it's bugged right now. Next we got the first B tier hero, which is Victor. This character is so fun. I love playing Victor. His gun being a fucking shotgun is not very consistent. So sometimes he hit like 500 damage headshot, sometimes he hit 2000 damage headshot. That's the only problem. The dashes work so well with his kit, with his passive. So every time you dash, you get like you reload back, and like when you don't have dashes, you can just deflect and get your charges back. Like his entire kit works so well together that is fucking insane, makes it so fun to play. The only problem with him is that he has no protection, no shield for his teammates. Next on the B tier is Kazama. I put him B tier as well because he's strong, but not many players can play him because he's not very easy to use. The problem with this gun is that you have to directly hit every rocket, otherwise you'll do like half or less damage. His movement though, like his movement capability is crazy. The second ability makes you get high ground so easily and like even escape some dangerous situation, as well as the second ability, the first ability helps you win fights going up and down in the air. And I really like the damage output on the ultimate ability, which didn't have before the 5v5 update. In the B tier as well, we got Gloria. Gloria got a pretty good damage buff on her auto rifle since the 5v5 update, and that's mainly why you wanna use her. Like you just wall clip the shit out of your enemies, place a trap somewhere, and that's it. That's your gameplay right there. Also really good about her is that her ultimate, the only ultimate she does go through Jabali shield, so that's very helpful. And I love like her movement boost from the passive. Like you can flank enemies so well, get an angle and get a free kill on most of the backline people who are not aware of your movement. Next on the B tier is another flanker, and it's Shell. Her gun is crazy. The damage output on a gun and the fact that it self-heals is insane. The first ability as well is pretty good. Invulnerability and whatever you want to call it, invincibility, is very strong. But the second ability is basically just more damage, so like it wasn't really needed. What I think she needs is something to get high ground, because she cannot go to the high ground really easily right now, and that's why she's not a high tier. Also, her first ultimate is dog shit, and she will be much better when the second ultimate comes back. The next one is Katie. Her main weapon is pretty good. The damage is high, but the damage fall off is a bit too high in my opinion. Also, the hit reg is not very good at the moment. The web and the roll ability work so well together, also because there's the new tech, new Skadi fly tech, which is so fun and so good to use. But don't abuse it too much, because sometimes if you just use it, like you'll find yourself in a situation where you have no abilities and you're just dead. Her first ultimate is good, but at the moment she's not meta because there's so many shields right now. So I think she'll be much better when her second ultimate comes back, hopefully being balanced. Next, on the B tier we have another tank, and it's Fade. His gun is very good, but it's not really easy to hit shots, so that's the only problem about it. And also sometimes you get no regs on him, which should be fixed like soon, hopefully. His spin ability, the charge ability, first ability, whatever you want to call it, is very strong, and it counters some meta heroes like Jabali. Like he fucking shreds Jabali. And the shield he has works really well with this kid overall. The only problem with this ultimate ability instead, I don't really like it because it doesn't go for a shield. I think he should go for a shield. Let me know what you think about it. He's really good for going in the backline and making space, but he really needs a good support to help him. Next on the B tier is Mark. The damage output from Mark is one of the highest in the game, probably only second to Gatlyn. Not only from his assault rifle, but also his rocket does insane amount of damage. What I don't really like about Mark is that to move around with this skateboard, you can only go forward. So you go forward and move your aim to turn around. That's the only thing I don't really like about it. The ultimate is decent, like you don't need a scan in 5v5 that much, but it helps with the shields at least, I guess. His passive is also really good because if you're flanking, you're not gonna have your support always with you, so you can self-heal. That's pretty good. For him as well, I think he's gonna be much better when the second ultimate comes out. With the smoke ultimate comes out, it's gonna be interesting. Next up, we got Judex in the B tier, and she's another hero that makes me biased. Not only because Sarah uses her, but also because I love playing her. The damage on the gun is the main thing or why she is in this tier, because you don't even need to headshot with her anymore. You just body shot and you fucking shred everybody. The ultimate is not great, but it's good to control point and avoid the enemies going on it. And this stun and flashbang, they're actually much stronger than people think, and you can enable your team, like you can enable your Aleta to make plays, you can stop enemies from making plays. It's actually crazy. You don't even need to use them together, so that's perfect. The last hero in the B tier is my lovely Hua Ling, which got fucked in the ass by the latest nerf of 5v5. Her bow doesn't do as much damage anymore, and like it throws me off so often because I just headshot them, think they're dead, but I didn't do enough damage. This snare as well, it doesn't do any damage at all right now. Like it's basically just to slow them down. Instead, the ultimate ability is good to win solo fights, but with so many shields in the game, she's not really crazy good in the meta. Now, the first A tier hero is Hunter. He got so much better since the introduction of the second active ability. It's crazy. And that's because he basically can win fight much more often against heroes who used to counter him, because he can heal now. So basically when an Aleta is pushing you, you just place the heal and you can win that fight pretty easily. The damage on his gun is fucking nasty. You don't even need, as well like Judex, you don't even need to headshot the enemies anymore, because you just get 2700 damage hitting 3 body shots. So yeah, the only thing about him is that the ultimate is like, it obviously takes longer, so that's the only thing about his kit that it could be better. Next in the A tier is Vinny. Not many people have him, and a lot of people complain about him because he can one-shot everybody in the game with his sword. But at the same time, like, yeah, he can one-shot, but it's not very easy to get it. And his low HP like kinda like makes it even, you know. His second ability is not that great honestly. Like his clone ability, like you can easily understand when it's a clone or when it's an actual player. The only thing that I don't like is that auto fire works when you're cloaked. When you're cloaked, so it shouldn't be working. Like people should understand when it's an enemy and shoot him. Next in the A tier is Sindri. Sindri got nerfed in the last update. I don't even know why, don't ask me, because she didn't even need it, but that's fine. She's very strong. Her damage output is the highest probably for the support type, and that's how it should be. Like they're called support and not healers, so they should be able to do damage. The turret as well does decent amount of damage, but the thing is used, like I like using it for, is like watch out for flankers and give me overshield in fights. That's pretty important. Her healings is AoE, so that's pretty good. Your teammates can just come towards you when they need it, and she's pretty easy to use. That's why she's high in the tier list. Next in the A tier, pretty high, is Johnny J. Johnny is so strong right now because of his ability to go into the backline freely and get one kill and run away. Like, you just need to go in the backline, get a DPS, get a support, and you can go back and heal yourself. Unfortunately, he cannot have 2 pads anymore, but that would be too strong probably right now. Instead, his second ability right now is so annoying. It does a lot of damage because nobody fucking shoots it for whatever reason. And sometimes, even if he dies, he just stays on the floor and keeps doing damage. His ultimate ability as well is so strong because with his entire kit, he slows you down. So if he starts shooting you, you cannot run away. Next, and almost at the top of the A tier, is Ruby. Ruby got a decent nerf from the update because she was fucking broken. Her damage was too high. Now it's actually balanced and like it's pretty good. Like the damage on the main gun is very good. The shields as well are so strong and it works very well with her passive, so she can move around standing next to the shields and getting less damage, as well with the tank passive, tank blessing, whatever it is. But the most broken thing about her kit is the stun. The stun cooldown is pretty low considering what it does, and it even stops ultimates. Something I don't really like about her kit is her ultimate because it doesn't really fit with it, so I hope her second ultimate will be better. Next, last on the A tier, the highest on the A tier, which honestly could probably be S tier, is Labula because Labula does everything. He tanks, he DPSs, he supports, heals, everything. His damage on gun is pretty good, so he can win fights, even with the help of the ultimate. His second ability is a fucking invulnerability field, like you cannot die in it. So if you place it well, like your entire team just immortal. And the healing is fucking crazy. It's just a better chemist, higher fire rate, the temp shield as well. Like he does everything, I swear. He's so fun to play as well, and the fucking skins are awesome. First in the S tier we got Aleta, which is my favorite hero. I love playing Aleta, but a lot of people keep saying that since the 5v5 update, she's not that viable, she's not good, and they're just wrong. Like, they just don't know how to play her, and they were just abusing the fact that she was broken before. Because she cannot heal anymore in the ultimate. She can heal with the recall, but it's, like, obviously not as good as a heal. But the thing is that now she has much more damage output and kill viability. She's much better in my opinion, but she's much harder, that's the thing. Also, she got the best movement in the game with 3 dashes, double jump. She's the most fun character for sure in the game right now. The only problem with her is that if you don't have the passive, she's basically useless. Yeah, that's the thing. Next in the S tier is the reason why Labula is A tier, and it's Neon. Neon is just the best support in the game right now. Her leech ability, healing, is so strong. Like, the healing she does is fucking crazy. The TP as well is, I don't know, like his cooldown is too low. It should be like 10 seconds at least. Because you can just TP to someone, like keep them alive for a couple of seconds, and you can just TP away. Like, enemies cannot kill you if you have your TP up. That's for sure. And as well, the ultimate ability is broken. Like, it's immortality. You don't even get damage, you even heal your teammates. You can use that to win fights, like you give it to your tank, or you can use it to contest as well. The ultimate is insane. Next in the S tier is Ossas. He counters the best hero in the game, which everybody knows who it is. But at the same time, it's not very easy to use, because if you don't have good aim with him, you should rather go with something else that's much easier. He's so strong because he can make aggressive plays and don't get punished for it. So you can push, smoke, and then you have a fucking fly to get away if things get dangerous. So with this one-shot potential as well, is so strong. The only thing is that his ultimate sucks because the hit reg on that shit is awful. So he's gonna be even more broken when TPs come back. Hopefully they will be balanced as well though. The second best character in the game right now, in my opinion, is Jabali. He's by far the best tank in every aspect. His damage, he's the best in between the tank, and his gun is the easiest to use because it's a fucking autopilot gun, just auto aims it. And it does so much damage, it auto reloads when you have the shield up. It's fucking nasty. The shield as well has so much HP, and it works so well with other meta characters like Labula, Neon, and obviously Gatlyn. His ultimate as well is so strong, and at the same time he's so good against other Jabalis because his gun goes through shields, so he counters himself at the same time. So you have to use a Jabali if you're against a Jabali. Not only does insane amount of damage with the gun, with the second ability which has range, with the ultimate ability, but he also gives out damage buff to his teammates, so he's just the best. And finally, the best character in the game is obviously Gatlyn. Who would have guessed? The damage output on this hero should not be like that. Like, he shouldn't be this high. Like, people cannot peek into you because they're just dead before they can even shoot you. And that shouldn't be a thing. Like, sometimes it just happens, you kill somebody because auto fire is a thing, so you were aiming somewhere and just somebody just walks into your crosshair and they just die. Not only that, but she can shoot like permanently without reloading, and like, how is that a thing? Like, who fucking, like, who tried that shit in before the update came out? The ultimate is so strong as well because it helps her against whoever counters her. I mean, come on, let's fucking nerf this shit. Okay, that's the end of the video. Let me know in the comments what would you change in my tier list, and remember to leave a like, subscribe, and obviously leave a comment telling me what you want to see next in the next videos, what hero you want me to play, and all that. Thank you for watching. See ya.